Notts County Talk, player ratings for Notts County 0, Torquay United 0. A game that I feel like Notts really needed to win. We're no further behind them. We've got the games in hand over them. But if we'd have got that win, it would have felt like a real, an opportunity to claw them back. And we didn't get it. We've seen why they're a good team. They've scored in something like 89% of their away games. And we've shut them out. And to be honest, bar that chance that was missed about 10 minutes before the end, that was a definite sitter, and Notts really switched off for that. They haven't had too many opportunities to score. So in a defensive sense, it's a really good performance. In an attacking sense, we're just not scoring enough, and we missed chances there we should really have put away. So going into the player ratings then, Slocum, I'm going to give him a 7. I think from crosses, bar 1 in the first half, that was really strange. I've not seen a keeper actually behave like that for a cross. He came and he sort of just kept his hands by his side and just nudged it. Apart from that, he was quite good from his crosses. He was decent. He did a good save from a Rawlinson header back in the first half that could easily have deceived him and gone in. So I'm going to go for a 7. The defence, they're playing Torquay United. Torquay are top of the league. They're not there, just by the chance. They've scored 16 goals in the 5 games before this, including 6 in one game. I'm going to give Brindley an 8. I think he was fantastic. He had to go off, was kicked in the face from, I can't really call it a high boot. He did stoop down, but yeah, it's an 8 for me for Brindley. He really riled up some of their attackers. He seemed to have them, he had their number all game. Whether this was part of riled up, but one of their players actually did throw a headbutt towards him. I can only assume the officials didn't see that. I mean, let's be honest, it's not enough to make a player go down, but by the letter of the law, that's a red card, and if a Notts player did that, you could have no complaints. So you can only assume the official didn't see. Battled for everything, drew a lot of fouls in very important positions. So yeah, an 8, really good performance from him. Rawlinson, I'm also going to give an 8, and I'm going to give Lacey an 8 as well. Those 3 were very good. I mean, defensively, they've got the clean sheet, which is the most important thing. They've kept them out. Yes, they didn't have their top scorer out for 10 or so weeks with a hamstring injury, but they've still got players in that team that can score. 30 odd of their goals, 25 of their goals have come from other players around the pitch. So yeah, just a very good performance from those 3. They were assured, they put their bodies on the line. We blocked a fair few shots and just looked very good defensively. Sort of reminds me of the Stockport game where you thought Torquay could play for a while here and still not score. So happy with those 3. Kelly Evans, I'm going to give a 7.5. Didn't quite hit the 8 for me. Not quite his usual self. Attacking wise, wasn't up as much as I would have liked, but again, a good performance, and it's a defender with a clean sheet. So Kelly Evans gets a 7.5 from me. Going on to midfield 2, Reeves and Doyle. Now we'll go with Doyle first. Doyle for me gets a 6.5. Now he wasn't bad. I just felt he was drifting in and out of the game so much, and there was a few sloppy passes from him. There was one instance midway through the second half, he gives the ball away and he just trots back and the guard runs past him. He doesn't actually make an attempt for the ball. Great player, I really do like him. But 6.5 for me today wasn't his usual performance, and that rating has come from his usual high standards not being met. Now his partner Reeves, going to give him an 8. He was everywhere today. He also made a few sloppy passes, but in his defence, he was tracking back on a lot of those mistakes as well. An 8 could be a bit high because one of the passes he gave away towards our area actually did result in a very good chance for Torquay. But, just his energy and the way he moves around the pitch, really, I think it makes the other players enthusiastic. They want to have that example set by Reeves, and they know Reeves is a good player. They're not silly. He's come down from a high division, so they know that is the standard they need to be hitting. So now my midfield 2. Now the other midfielders sort of playing a narrow in a 4-2-2-2. I'll go with Enzio. I think he was good today. I think we saw a lot more of him. I think we would have seen a lot more of him if he was coming in off the left. I don't think the right suited him, which we saw for a number of chances, especially the one that Ruben played through to him, and I was shouting shoot, and he just held on to it for far too long. So for me, it's going to be a 7.5. I think he had the opportunity to score as well today. He it's not his favoured side, and if he's being played on that side, what can he do? He can't drift over to the other. So a good performance. We're seeing Enzio as a threat now because he was a threat to them. There was a number of times when he did get one-on-one with defenders, and I just feel like he's a completely different player to what we saw at the start of the season. So decent. Rodriguez. Now, the ability to make space is incredible. He'll have no problem with social distancing. I mean, literally picks the ball up, 2 or 3 players around him, one turn, and he's away. He reminds me of, if I'm doing it in the Premier League, he reminds me of a player like Mahrez. It's such low centre of gravity, it seems, and he can keep that ball really close to his feet. He gets these brilliant turns in, halfway line, drives 3 or 4, 5 paces forward, and then gave the ball away almost every time. There was a chance he played through to Wootton, a fantastic ball over from Doyle. He takes it really well in his chest. I'm thinking, yes, Rodriguez, this is the opportunity. Takes it down and just overhits the pass to Wootton. Now, if that's a perfect pass, it's not a difficult one to make. If that's the perfect pass, Wootton has a clear one-on-one, and he probably will score well. His finishing wasn't fantastic today, but I can only give him a 7 because he's up here for the ability to make himself space and make himself chances, but down here today for the execution. Now, we are playing a better team. I feel like some of the balls that were cut out wouldn't be cut out if we're playing one of the teams down at the bottom. But yeah, there's signs of a real good player there. Effiong, fantastic performance for me today, 7.5. I can see why he's been taken off. He's not had too many minutes of football this season. He's still gelling with the team, but yeah, very good performance from him. I think he'll partner anyone well. I think he'll complement Wootton, he'll complement Knowles, Sam. I think he looked a threat, he looked a danger. He liked to pull out wide, and he didn't shy away from taking players on. So for me, 7.5 is a good rating. Now his partner Carl Wootton, I've got to give a 6.5 for him. There's this golden chance at the end, and you just think to yourself, just smash it. And he's tried to side foot it. It's gone wide, and I can see the criticism for it going wide. But I think he's going to try and place it in the corner because he knows there's a player on the line, and it's just not gone off. He scores that with a minute to go. He's 10 out of 10. But today his shooting boots just weren't there. He didn't have as much to do. I thought Effiong took a lot of the pressure off him. I thought Sam took a lot of the pressure off the hold-up play and winning the ball, and it allowed him to focus on his movement. It could easily have been a 7, 7.5, but that chance at the end for me just brings it down. Now the 3 subs. Sam, 6.5. I thought he was decent. I thought he was okay, and I think that's how I see him for the rest of the season. A player that's going to come off the bench. I wouldn't be unhappy to see him start against some of the lesser teams, but certainly I wouldn't have been happy if he started today, and I probably won't be happy if he starts on Tuesday either. O'Brien, I'm just going to give a 6. Not too much I can really say about his performance. A couple of sloppy moments of possession, but you know what you get with Jim O'Brien. Nothing fantastic today, nothing terribly poor, so 6. And then Miller came on obviously because of the injury to Brinley, and I can't really rate him. He wasn't on long enough. So overall, a 0-0. Frustrations, but also some massive positives to take from that. Just let us know in the comment section below the ratings you would have given the players. Was it a good performance? Was it a good point? Or would you rather have seen us push even further for 3? Thanks for watching.